Oh, hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Beauty's garage and this beautiful 1974 TR6 that we're trying to recover from fire damage. But turns out that there was a lot more damage than what we thought. So almost everything from behind the dash is burnt and unusable. But that's fine because turns out that we have parts. Thanks to you guys, thanks to many of you who donated parts in the past, I have lots of parts and I found almost everything that I needed. And whatever I didn't have, like a glass for example, also got donated to me later. So thank you so much guys for everything that you do, because now that saves my butt. So I still needed to go and buy some new parts, and I did, from Planet 6 Parts. They are already here in the trunk. So we have almost everything now that we need for this car to be restored, other than time. So we need time, and we're trying to catch up with that as well. Unfortunately, the fire damage is not the only problem with this car, and we knew that before we picked it up. We knew that the frame also needs a repair. The trailing arm supports here, or the cross members, are rotten, the usual weak spot for the Triumph TR6 frames. They all rust in that area, and unfortunately this one is not exception. It is pretty bad. So last weekend Chef Tash offered his help to help me get the body off the car, and we spent a good 7-8 hours stripping the rear end. We removed the trailing arms, the diff, removed the bumpers. They were the heavy bumpers with the big rubber bumperets, or whatever you want to call them. So that took a while to remove them because they are attached to the frame and the body at the same time. So we needed to remove them, and I don't think they're coming back, but that's a different story. So everything from outside the car, I believe, is removed that needed to be removed for the body lift off, and we started working in the engine bay, and that's when we ran out of time. I mean, we removed the carburetors, we removed the alternator and some other things, but we still need to remove a little bit more in order to separate the body from the frame. So that's what's going to happen in this episode. I'm hoping that by the end of the episode we're going to have the body up here and the frame down there. For that we also need to remove the steering column, because again it connects the two parts, the frame and the body. And I drilled already, I didn't wait for you, I did it on my own. I drilled the shear bolts that hold the ignition switch to the steering column, because they are made from the factory, so you tighten to certain torque and then the head of the bolt snaps and you can't take them off anymore, because it's a safety feature, so we don't, or anti-theft feature. So we had to drill those. But again, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna continue with under the dash here. I'm gonna continue with the engine bay so we can lift the body. We have to take the steering column off though, so let's do that first. Oh, okay, I actually forgot that in the last episode David removed the bolt from the U-joint and also the coupling from here. So now I should be able to pull out the steering column. The only problem before was that the ignition switch was still attached there. So now I should be able to pull it out without any problems. Now I need more hands for that, looks like it. Okay. There you go. And I should be able to split it from the splines here, but it's gonna need some taps here, gentle taps with the hammer here. It needs more than a gentle tap. Huh. I'm gonna go backwards. Okay, we're gonna put some of my magic solution there. This is acetone and automatic transmission fluid, 50-50. Gonna put some on the splines here, and hopefully it's gonna penetrate. It's gonna make it easier to come out. And in the meantime, we're gonna start doing something else. The brake lines need to be disconnected from the PDWA, and the clutch slave needs to be disconnected. For that, I'm gonna first suck out all the brake fluid from here. Okay, it's another day and we have helper today.
Do these belong in the car?
Where it is? Uh-oh. Yeah, we finished by removing everything from the engine bay, whatever was connecting the body to the chassis. And today we're starting with the interior. David showed up after his business trip and he's gonna help me today so we can lift the body. Like I said, by the end of this video, the body should be in the air. I just removed the seats. He's removing now the trucks. Don't rip the carpets because I'm gonna try to save those. Just this one I'm not gonna be able to save, but I think maybe I should make new ones. We'll see. But that's what we're doing. The trunk or the boot is already empty and I removed the... Okay, I can't put it one-handed.
Let me do it.
How do you do that? Oh, I did. Okay. Removed everything, removed the hook from here. It's cut from underneath anyways. I like this trunk, how it is lined with carpet everywhere. That's what I did with my Spitfire. So yeah, I think just these bolts now, the body mounts here, the seatbelt bolts, etc. And then we should be able to put it up in the air. Okay, so the interior is out and all the body mounts are out. Actually, let's go through all the body mounts just so you know, in case you don't know where there are body mounts. So there's two here, obviously one on this side, one on the other side. Then you have these that go through this angled bar from the tower here for the shock and the suspension all the way to the frame. So there's a body mount here with a couple of spacers in between and stuff. Then that's everything in the engine bay. Inside you have one over there, four over here, and that's the only casualty that we have. All the other ones came out pretty hard. They were rusted. Looks like they're the original ones of the car. The body has never been off the frame. So they came hard but came out. That's the only one that actually this one was gonna come out too, but I rounded the head of the bolt, so I had to cut it. But these four, then there's three here, there's one more here, and there's one in the center of the boot going into this bar here.
Tire carrier hold down.
Yeah, and then there's two here that go. These are undone from outside. They don't go inside the boot. They go right here. So all of them are undone now. And next thing is we're gonna clean up a little bit, remove the tools and everything, and we need to install braces here at the doors. We don't want to bend the body. These are the braces that Eugene gave me. He made them. Actually, he made one for me, one for David. So
what? I've never seen mine.
It's here. Oh. Take a good look at it because you're never gonna see it again.
Thank you, Eugene.
Thank you, Eugene. So we're gonna install these. They are adjustable. They're like buckle, turnbuckles. One side is regular thread, the other side is reverse thread, so you can tighten them and loosen them. But to install these at the doors right now, there's a big gap here. We can't even close the doors. So we're gonna drop the chassis down. One of my viewers, Tim Marsh, was asking what we're gonna do with the rear end now that we don't have wheels. Well, we're gonna put a dolly underneath, like a moving dolly, with maybe jack stands, or I don't know. We're gonna keep it up so we can roll the chassis after when the body is up. But we're gonna do that now so we can close this gap. And once it's closed, we're gonna put the braces and then we're gonna lift the body up. All right. The dolly is there and it is off the lift now, and the doors open and close.
Probably pretty close to where the original ride height was on this car.
Yeah, that's how I want it. We're gonna have to do something with the springs. You said you have a set for me?
Possibly.
I'll give you heavy duty ones.
For your friend, you mean?
Yeah. Whoever my friend is.
Yeah.
Okay, I ended up removing the dash as well because it was in my way, the metal dash I mean. It was in my way for these bolts there. The dash is held with 2 screws here on the side, one here and one there, I mean bolts, and 5 more up here. And all these don't even need to come out completely, they just need to be loosened, and the dash has slots. Let me show it to you. I took it out because it needs to be cleaned up and painted and burnt a little bit, but yeah, these are the slots, so you don't even need to remove those 5 bolts from there. Or there are actually nuts there, we have studs on top. And then we put the straps here. I love them because you look at that, I can still close the door and they're not in the way. So between the door and the straps, we're perfect now to lift the body. Okay, so we are ready basically to lift off. We're ready basically for lift off, but our chef is on a call, a work call, so it looks like it's gonna take a while. So I'm doing a little bit of other projects that I still need to do anyways. I removed the heater box from there. Looks like we're gonna need a new one. I have a new one. A different one, I should say, not a new one. Looks like something is melted inside and it's touching somewhere. We're gonna test it anyway. Maybe we can save it. And I removed also the vents from here. Removed also the windshield, the burnt one and melted one. And I'm about to remove the windshield frame here. Okay, so looks like our chef is done with his call, so he's coming back. Okay, in this case, we can pull these arms now and put them under the seal. The car is light enough to do that. We're not gonna bend the seals, I'm hoping, the flanges. We're gonna keep the bonnet open for now, just for the lift off a little bit to make sure that nothing is catching in the engine bay, and then at some point we're gonna have to close it. Go up. The e-brake cable is disconnected from the wheels, so it's gonna stay on the, or the 2 e-brake cables, they're gonna stay on the body. The speedometer cable is disconnected from the body, it's gonna stay on the transmission. So I'm hoping that we are good to go here. So let's see.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
On this side of the front. Yeah.
Everything clear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Good here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hang on.
No, that's disconnected.
No, I just want to make sure it slides underneath that.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me. Okay. This is like body off the easy way.
Yeah. And they are separated.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That went smooth.
Yes, it did.
Okay. So next is, I believe, to
Move the Spitfire out of the way.
move the Spitfire, pull the frame, the chassis out of there, but now it should be moving easily, yeah?
Yeah.
we can roll it out and repair these turn markers. Not bad here.
Oh, don't forget to count your shims.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Don't move your
There must
shim.
be a shim here. Yeah, there's one here. So we have multiples here. We have to count everything
Yeah.
to make sure that they go back.
And your pads.
Yeah. I'm gonna take them off the body now and I'm gonna put them on where they belong, and we're gonna
Maybe bag them. That's
I
crazy.
don't know about that.
Crazy.
Waste of bags. Okay, so we pulled it out from under the car and I tried to remove all the pads from whatever they were stuck on the body, but there's one for over there that I couldn't remove. It is stuck so well that at some point I realized that actually I don't need to remove it. So that's what we have here. Let's go through all of them just for the record, for my own record. We have multi-layer pad here. I think this is just one pad because here I took it out and I split it and it turned out it is 2, 4, 6 layers, 6 thin layers of something. It's like fiber something, but I believe that was one pressed together pad. Here we have, I believe that's one aluminum shim. Here we have washers or whatever. Here we have, how many? Let's see, 2 of these. Here we have 4. Actually we have 2 pieces of metal sandwiched between 2 of these flexible pads. Here we have 2 shims. Here we had 1 shim, but it is disintegrated, same as here. Here we have 2 shims. Here this is the same as the other side. Here we have only 2 of these pads without metal. Here we have 1 of these plus 1 more on the car. So there we have much more than here. You see, it is, even from the factory they came in so many different configurations. This is, I don't know, one thing. And this is one thing, or no, this is one thing trapped between 2 other things, and this is one thing as well. So anyway, under the car I went already and I looked, and let me show you what it looks there. I already got carried away, which I didn't want to do, and I'm gonna hold myself from doing, but isn't that a great opportunity now to scrape all that, get rid of it and paint it? I know, but that's not what the owner wants. And believe me, I know what the owner wants. He wants a car that's safe for the road without too much investment in it. He's on a budget, he doesn't have any time, so he wants a car that is gonna be on the road as soon as possible. So we might just clean this up like that and just leave it like that. Isn't that cool? It's like a tiger pattern but in zebra colors. Well, we made a good progress. I'm all ready now to start dealing with this frame here, because that was the reason why we took it apart, right? We want to replace the 2 trailing arm supports or cross members or whatever you want to call them. We're gonna utilize my jig for that reason. We're gonna try to do it as soon as possible without digging too much into other issues here. I know there's so many other things that we can do, but I'm gonna resist the urge to needle scale the whole frame and paint it, for example, and clean up the bottom of the car and paint it and all that. We don't want to do that. I mean, if we get carried away, before we know it, we're gonna have a frame off restoration. Not that we are not frame off already, but we don't want to go deeper than that. Of course, the brake lines we might replace, and the transmission. Now I know that we have a leak on the shafts, but at least I can put a new seal in the back of the transmission. I can take it out quickly and replace the clutch, because I know when I drove it, the clutch didn't feel right, so that for sure we're gonna do. But not more than that. I was really tempted to install, I have a TR3 transmission with overdrive ready to go. Do I do that? No synchro. I don't even know if the ratios are right. So no, we're gonna keep it as a 4-speed for now. And I have another A-type overdrive that needs work, so I can rebuild that and install it in another transmission. I have 3 or 4-speed transmissions downstairs in the basement, so I can install that in another transmission eventually. I just need an A-type main shaft. I also have a J-type overdrive that has been donated to me by Bob Wilcox. Thank you, Bob. I need a main shaft for that as well. So whichever I find first, main shaft for A-type or for J-type, that's the transmission that I'm going to put together. And then one day we're going to swap it quickly here. That's not a big deal. So yeah, that's where we're going to leave it, guys. We're going to end this video here. And in the next one, we're going to start dealing with the frame. So thank you so much for watching, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and all that good stuff. It's really, really appreciated. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.